So a couple of things that kind of stuck out to me, like you had this like foresight as like this young 18-year-old, 19-year-old. Man, if I can just get my foot in the door, um, you've been very strategic. Where did you get that from? Like, who gave you that knowledge, or did this was it something that you kind of came to you? Like, if I can do this when I graduate from college, like that's a pretty forward thinking for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, that's a great question. I never thought about that. I would say that I don't know, maybe early in life, I learned that like a lot of success is, as much as we hate to admit it, love to admit it, it's based on opportunity. As hard as you work, I know people that are better at what I do than me, but opportunity or XYZ, certain circumstances don't allow them to get to certain places. And that sucks, but unfortunately, like it's opportunity, being at the right place at the right time, knowing the right people like that,
Yeah.
as much as it shouldn't be about that, it very much is. Um, and then it's up to you to take advantage of that. And I would just say, yeah, I guess I pat myself on the back for kind of recognizing at that age at like the Lansing State Journal, if I could start there, would be a great starting point. Um, and again, like I was one of those people that had to like have a job in college, so it's like, oh, you're telling me I'm making $8 to be around sports? Like, yeah, I'll do that. And
Yeah.
on top of that, I have an opportunity like to showcase myself for a potential. I have 3-year audition for a job. Like, okay, I'll do that too. So, um,
Where
yeah, I
did that
don't.
come from, though, Jay? Do you know? I mean,
Um, I'm always like and it's probably we're gonna get deep here. It's probably rooted in like I don't like surprises. I don't like things I can't control. Uh, I don't like I think too much. I think too much about step two, three, and four instead of like the step I'm on. And I think that's like probably like most people, if they have like any type of anxiety, it's rooted in predicting what's ahead. So
mm-hmm.
like my mind naturally is always just kind of thinking, if I do this, what's the end? Like what's the ripple effect? What's the end result? I think that's just kind of how I always been. I played chess as a kid, uh, and that chess is all about setting up in the moment for down the line.
For
So
sure.
maybe that's where it's rooted from. I don't know. I haven't been to. I've been wanting to go to a psychologist. Maybe that's what they would tell me. My mind has always just kind of been in those things where it's you play the long game, and it's weird because I don't have patience. So I don't know. It's a lot of punches going back and forth in this
Man,
brain of mine.
yeah, and for the sake of time, I won't go into detail too much, but I just the conference I came from, the one of the presenters, he's facilitator of this DISC assessment,
Okay.
DISC. Are you
Yeah,
familiar?
I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, and so he asked for a volunteer. Didn't know what I was volunteering for. Why not? So I'm up on stage, and they were like, "We're gonna have the crowd ask you questions, and then we're gonna try to. We're gonna let them guess where you are on that sort of that disc wheel, right?"
Okay.
So maybe, yeah. So I'm like listening to you now, and since like I'm like, yeah, he's definitely. I got my mind on, but I think it's
Where am I? Do you know? Can you tell me? I'm not familiar with the.
you're the cognitive, the more like
Okay.
planning, like structure
Yeah,
is where I would guess, right? Where
I think
you
that's fair. Yep.
you need to have things in order, right?
Yep. Always early.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
don't if somebody hits me up at if you want to hang out, you got to hit me up the day before, 2 days before. You can't spring it on me the day of. Yeah,
That's not
it's.
how you roll.
I wish it wasn't like that, but it is.
Well, you got to know who you are. And so I have two young kids, man, and I just tweeted this out recently, like, man, if you could teach your kids like delayed gratification,
Hmm.
I'm like, you're going to the parent like Hall of Fame, right? If you could
Yeah.
just teach, if you could teach yourself, right? Just, hey, put the work in. Don't worry about what's right in front of you, but like just know focus on your inputs, right? I think it's, kudos to you for your brain being designed the way it is, because I think at 18, 28, 38, it's something that folks are still kind of struggle with. So the plan.
Yes, and it's tough. And I'm not to say one line of thinking is better than the other, because I imagine people who are more spur of the moment people don't uh, spend a lot of time getting worked up about things because they're not thinking about it. They just do. So there's
There's
gift
pros
and
and
curse to
cons,
everything. Yeah.
for sure, for sure. And I think uh, yeah, you want to have some balance, but sometimes you're gonna fall in one bucket versus the other. That's just the way,
Hmm.
just the way it is. The good thing is, or the important thing is understanding kind of where you fall in that,
Yeah.
so that you can identify that. What